Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the podcast. This is number 7, and today we have a great lineup for you today, and we also want to thank you for the past, just everything that you've been doing, the comments, the likes, the everything. I get a lot of feedback on Twitter. A lot of people on Twitter say, hey, what's the next one coming out? I love the podcast. I wish you guys would do this like every day. It's been something that I really look forward to. I listen to this while I'm on my way to work or that I'm going on long trips. I had someone say that they listened to 1 through 6 on a road trip, and they just had a blast listening to whatever we had to say. So thank you guys for listening all the way around. And remember, this will be on SoundCloud. It is a week later, so episode 6 should be up on SoundCloud right now as you're listening to this. And you can check that out if you want to as well. All right, so today we have a lot of great guests with us today. We have D20, we have Jehovah, we have Joel, we have Shadow Beats, we have Sidearms, and we have Speedy. We have a great crew lineup tonight, and this is the first one that Speedy and Jehovah's been on, so that's amazing for them to come as well. So this is the first time we got to hear them on the podcast, which is cool. And for the most part, first thing I want to talk about, are actresses and actors / pro athletes paid too much? And I'll start off with my own opinion. Now, my first opinion is, actors and actresses, at times, I think sometimes they get paid too less, especially when it's like the Sundance, stuff like that, and a movie like Napoleon Dynamite takes off from some of these film festivals, and they ended up making a lot of money. I know there's a cut for them, and actually got to hear John Heder talk one time, and he was talking about how his first contract with Napoleon Dynamite wasn't very big at all, and they had to go in and restructure it because it took off so much. But he thought that if the language stayed the way it was, that he wasn't going to get paid very much. It was like 15, 20,000, something really small for what the film ended up doing overall. But in the long run, I think that there's like a longevity when it comes to some actresses and actors that when it's like, let's say a Denzel Washington, George Clooney, when they're in a film like this, yes, they do sell the film for the most part, but a film could be like totally just a flop, and they get paid millions upon millions, and sometimes the film has to go straight. They have to cut it and go straight to DVD or whatever it might be. It ends up being a flop, and a lot of people end up, not getting a fair share. And I think one of the things that's going on right now is the Big Bang Theory. I don't know if any of you guys watch that. Does anybody watch that?
Nope. I do not.
No one watches that. Well, Big Bang Theory right now, they're on their 10th season. They're about to go into their 11th season, and they're going to end up canceling Big Bang Theory because there's too many conflicts with the cast. They think every season they've been getting a pay bump, and now they are basically just going to shut it down because 3 of their main people have basically said that they're not going to come back because it's one of those things where so-and-so is getting paid more than me, and I want to get paid more than them, and so it's just a big conflict all the way around. So it's kind of messed up. What do you guys think about actresses and actors, and also you can do pro athletes as well?
About how much they get paid?
Yeah, how much they get paid. Because a lot of people say they don't do a lot of work, especially like pro athletes. Or like you catch a ball for a living. Like, how hard is it?
I mean, I think the reason it's not like pro athletes get paid millions of dollars. Like, that's not just some arbitrary thing that just some random person has decided. Like, football is well,
you just burped.
Yeah, I'm aware. But like the NFL and Major League Baseball and all this stuff, like these are like multi-million at least, probably billion. I don't know if I looked it up.
LeBron's underpaid.
Like they can they can afford to pay these people this amount of money, so like I think it's not that they're getting paid so much because having athletic ability is more valuable than being a doctor or a police officer or anything like that. It's just the line of work, and it's kind of evolved that way.
So these big I say big companies because that's basically what they are. These big teams and organizations, I don't see where all this revenue comes from. I mean, they spend so much money on the stadium, they spend so much money on the players, and I guess merchandise, ticket sales, and TV contracts.
Yeah.
That's the huge part, I guess.
Majority of it,
Yeah, like I don't know how baseball is, and I know more about college football because SEC filler. But SEC gets paid, I think it's $20 million per team. I may be off on that number. Maybe I'm just making that up. But I mean, that's a lot of money at the end of the day. But it seems like pro teams. I don't know how much the revenue, because how much is say the highest paid baseball player right now getting paid? What, $50 million? Is that
What?
in the ballpark?
No.
Like, I'm talking about for a certain year.
Like 25 million.
25 million? Okay, half of that. So
25 too much.
Yeah, 25 too much. But they do play a lot of games. I will say that. So if you separate it over the games,
half of them.
If you want to get
That's true.
the complete accurate is Clayton Kershaw made $32 million last year in 2016. So he was the highest for last year. Clayton Kershaw made $32 million.
and he
pitcher.
plays how many times a year? Like, he plays what?
How many
Like,
times he pitched?
Well, pitchers
Yeah.
only pitch
20?
75
30
games.
games.
yeah, 20, 30 games. That's
I
a lot.
guess.
That's a lot to spend.
But again, it's because Major League Baseball, with it having like so many years being America's pastime. I mean, you could argue it's not that anymore. But it's because of all the money that they rake in, especially because like 162 games a year,
You're gonna make a lot of cheddar.
Yeah. So again,
yeah.
it's because like they can afford it. And plus, baseball doesn't have a salary cap.
And this is different for like all sports too. In like the NBA, there's individual conflicts. Like some of the lesser players at this point, the NBA is taking in a record amount of revenue, and they're more successful than ever. And because of that, lesser players are making a lot more money. Where you could say a player like Tyler Johnson for the Heat. I'm sure no one in this TeamSpeak has ever heard of
I'm
him. I really
familiar
haven't
with
even heard of
him.
him. Yes.
He
Yes.
does really cool dunks.
Yes, he gets paid a lot of money for contributing not much to a team, whereas someone like LeBron James truly is undervalued for what he brings to a franchise. So now it's always going to be a pendulum swinging. Now the star players aren't making as much as they should, and the lesser players are making more, and they they go back and forth. And then in football, I'm sure it's different. And so I don't know. It's all. I think in general, people get paid what they should, and far be it from us to say people get paid too much for catching balls or doing stupid things.
I don't see why it couldn't be like a performance-based. I mean, I know it is overall for your contract when you talk about your contract, but why not have it say, hey, you score 10 points, you make $20,000 that night, or whatever
Well, there are
it is.
like when that
I
when
don't
thing I read
understand why
about.
it can't all be based on that.
Well, it's not all, but like Clayton Kershaw's $32 million was with incentives. Like when I don't know if he won the Cy Young last year, but it said $32 million with incentive-based bonuses, because like all contracts have bonuses in them. Like Andre Drummond for the Pistons is going to lose out on a lot of money because he didn't make the All-Star game this year and shit like that. So, but yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, I could see if they give everybody a base, and then from that, everybody gets paid more. Like if you're All-Star team, you get this. If you make it, if we make it to the playoffs, everybody on the team gets this much. If we win a game in the playoffs, you get this much. Championship, this much.
Now
all
let
that
me
kind
ask
of
you
stuff.
this, 20. Do you think YouTubers should get a bonus if they get on Scarce's channel?
No, I don't even watch Scarce. So
Oh.
Hey, we
Expert
started
I
him,
only
all
watch
right?
the Crew, the best people on YouTube.
Investigative
up.
journalism is what it's called. Yeah, the best people on YouTube. Do you have any thoughts on sports side?
I'm not very much into sports, but I can talk about the actor stuff. Actors being paid a lot. That's where I was gonna.
Yeah, talk about how worthless Robert Downey Jr. is.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
how much he gets paid
you mean
for
how
a
much
movie.
how valuable he is? Started the whole Marvel franchise, Joel, with the first.
Great in Tropic Thunder.
After
He
watching
was.
Tropic Thunder was actually really good.
After watching Star Wars, I think they could just put him in digitally and pay him half as much. I think
Yeah,
That's
a
a
thing
thing you
pull
can
that
do
off.
now.
I think
That's
I
true.
think the
What
movies
about,
are gonna
like,
make a
thing
shit
for
ton.
actors where they could just
Oh.
like maybe make half the money, but like elect to be in a movie digitally. They could sit on their ass and make bank. What if that like ever becomes a thing?
Well, that
they could be in like
that's
10
what
movies
they're
at once.
that's what they're meeting about right now with
shit, right?
for Star Wars. Like, are they gonna do are they gonna kill off Carrie Fisher's character, or are they going to add her in
I thought-
digitally?
I thought somebody said that they had already finished. They already wrapped filming.
Oh well, yeah, not for but for the
Oh,
second,
right,
but for like
okay,
the third in this iteration of the series.
Wow,
so like the
spoilers,
third.
Joel. Jesus Christ, man.
Oh, we always knew they were
Not
making
everybody has
3.
Twitter. Not everybody knows Carrie Fisher's dead.
Oh, yeah. So, sorry, guys. Spoiler alert.
Everybody
Twitter's
on
the only way to
internet
find this
and
stuff out,
television.
But like the studio got $40 million for her dying because at
insurance for the-
movie studios take out insurance on
Wow.
their biggest stars.
It's
That's
like
pretty
Kieran Lee
crazy,
has
isn't
his penis insured for $1 million.
Lucky.
Yeah,
That's pretty comparable.
Yeah,
Lucky.
I wonder what the circumstances are like. If my penis gets cut off, I
Circumcised.
get them. So if I ever get in a
Yeah,
bind,
what
I'm
is
just
the
gonna
deal
slice my
behind that?
penis off.
Yeah, I'll do the video of sticking my dick in a meat grinder.
what if
Sounds
he-
good to me.
What if he loses a ball? Like, if he loses a ball, does he get?
Yeah, is
$1 million, or-
that underneath his penis clause or?
Yeah, because balls, they really are.
It's
they
under
are
his
like
penis, yes.
they are under his penis technically.
Leave
but-
it to me to ruin the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kieran Lee's big cock.
No, it's all right.
No, but it's a good question because he has his penis insured for $1 million. But so if he loses a ball, he can still have sex, but the load's obviously going to be less thick.
Less
and
than-
Have to
They
load.
can do it
you
digitally
watch
now.
for the load. Yeah, they're gonna have to add the load in digitally. Like when he's spraying and praying, he's like, make my load extra thick when you're editing. If you can't tell, he's British by the
Yeah, he's
accent
very,
to it.
very Australian British.
Oh,
I
no,
like
he
it.
just shows that voice. Yeah.
All male porn stars seem to be British. Well,
Johnny
the
Sins,
famous
Joel.
ones.
What about
Oh.
him? Man
Okay.
of many talents.
You broke my myth, side. You busted.
I saw
You
Nine
bust.
Buster.
I saw him be a doctor, a fireman, a pizza delivery guy. What's
I
next?
saw him sleeping one time.
Oh my gosh.
my
Oh really? Is
He
it
is
one of
human.
those?
Helmet and actually experience him inside you.
Oh, hey, did you see Pornhub? Pornhub released their stats. Like they do an annual stats release. So like the 2016 stats, the highest gaining search was VR, like virtual
Virtual reality?
Oh yeah, I'm sure because everybody's curious as fuck.
Thought everyone was into stepsisters and weird shit like that.
No, stepmom is like
What?
the number one search. Yeah,
That's just weird.
yeah. I'm not a big fan. Like I've never. I
I'm
don't
not
have
from a
any
divorced
stepmoms
families.
or
Yeah.
steps. Yeah, but I'm not like, oh man, I got a step family now to jerk off to like
He's
this.
sexy,
But who
I
has
know I
that?
shouldn't.
Yeah.
I just don't see why real mother isn't more of a.
Yeah,
search.
more of
I
a
mean,
search. Hell yeah.
If you're gonna
So
fuck
get
around,
it.
you might as well do it right.
Like we were talking about this the other night, side about how I had trouble masturbating to stage porn because it's like I know you're not
I know, that was
like
very
yeah, I know
disturbing.
you're not the mom.
Very
Like
disturbing.
I know you're not the mom, Brandy Love. I've seen you in 50
Oh, dude,
other
that's
movies.
actually one of my favorites. Though last night was a session with her and I. Last night.
Her and I. Now, did you
Christ.
search virtual reality Brandy Love?
I did
'Cause
not.
That makes it sound more
Once
like a
once I get one of
session.
these systems, and when they become cheaper, I might though. It'll
Once
be a
I
whole new.
get one of these high-tech systems.
Oh my god.
You're gonna have to look for another job because after this YouTube shit ends and you spend all of your YouTube money on a fucking
Brazzers.
machine that fucks you, like you're gonna be in trouble, man.
He's gonna get a Sonos headset around his ears, so it's like virtual reality sound and
Yeah, all synced and everything.
like.
But
Back in my day, when your parents walked in on you, you like noticed, but you'll just be. I mean, if your parents.
oh
happen
yeah,
to
never
walk in,
mind.
yeah.
I might not never do VR porn unless. Well, I guess I can live by myself.
You'll
but
have
if
to
someone
get a-
breaks into my house.
No, that's
Yeah.
Someone breaks
yeah.
into my house and they're like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck is this guy doing?"
Yeah, he's jerking off while wearing this mask. Yeah.
He's wearing a mask and jerking off.
I
Easy
like how the
burglary
thought of you
opportunity.
living by yourself.
Yeah,
was
I know. It was
complete
like, yeah,
alternate
exactly.
universe to you. He was
Well, I
like,
guess I
"Hey,
could live by
he's like,
myself.
Yeah, maybe one day. I was hoping someone else picked up on that.
I'll have you know, I picked up my bottles at Sweetie's house, so you're welcome.
Not what I heard.
You're welcome.
That's
I left one for jokes in the guest bedroom, but that's about it. Tell him, Speedy.
Beatty, how big of
true.
a laugh did you have?
Tell him.
I used a black light in that room when I stayed there a month later. It was disgusting.
Oh, God.
Super duper crime scene.
You should clean your black light then.
Yeah.
The room was
Leave
fine.
it going
The black
there.
light, though.
Yeah,
It's
the
just
black
so
light.
sticky.
What did I do with the
I
black
used
light?
it after eating an ice cream cone.
Where did you stick it?
Oh god.
Name a sticky situation.
Yeah.
Next
Now that we're
topic,
completely off topic.
D4.
All right. So, I have had some friends to get a little crazy. And have you ever had any friends do anything crazy, just maybe put in a drunk tank or whatever? And I'll start off with my story, or like do something just outrageous that you think of when it comes to your brain. But drunk tank is basically the topic here. So I had a friend, and we were at a college campus, and some girls invited us over, blah, blah, blah. His girlfriend was over there, so we went to, it was a dorm room. We went over, and I'm not a big drinker, so I don't drink a lot. So I was not really the DD. We're kind of walking, pussy, but we're kind of walking and stuff, and so he starts drinking there, and he's not doing, he's being a Joel. He's like being a fucking man. He's taking shots. He's not doing the beer thing, okay? He's taking shots like a man. And
that's my Joel.
Speedy.
Exactly.
I hope that Speedy can take shots like real men.
Really?
I could take them too.
I saw Joel take the manliest shot of all time one time. A dude grabbed a fireball and took a shot of it. What a man.
Okay, that sounds like that is
cinnamon
a
is hot.
You can't drink fire. Are you shitting?
Are you shitting me? But anyways,
I saw Speedy take Jaeger bombs back to back like Drake, and then he didn't feel anything, and I thought, my God,
I love Drake and Josh, man.
this man.
Jaeger bombs are, not to talk. I'm not trying to like throw shade or anything, but Jaeger bombs are like the smoothest thing you can take in the world. They're so fucking tasty.
right.
I haven't
never had
taken
my
that
dick.
many, so I just had at that time I was like, I had some stigma about them, like, oh, that's the hard shit. But yeah, I guess I will take your word for it, man. I've taken Jaeger bombs before, but he just threw them. He just doubled them up, and I was like, God, what a fucking man. I wish I could suck his dick, but I'm not gay, so I can't.
Yeah, that was the only
continue-
problem.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
Continue with your
still
story
can.
before.
It just
Still
won't be.
can and just
Sorry,
no eye
stop interrupting
contact.
before.
No, you're good. That was a great little side piece. But anyway, so he's drinking. It hits him pretty quick. He's not a big dude. He's probably like 135. He's not big at all. He's like short, and he's But anyway,
Pretty old to be drinking.
we were plenty young enough. Okay, we were under the age basically, and so
Hit the gym, get taller.
yeah, exactly. But we head out the dorm room, and he's like being an idiot, so he gets loud, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. It's like, shut the fuck up. We're going down the stairs, and he's just making all kinds of fucking noises. It's an all girls dorm, and some girl sees us on the second floor, calls the cops, the university police. I'm like, dude, the fucking university police are coming. Let's get the fuck out of here. Because she's like, I'm calling the fucking cops. So we race down to the bottom as fast as we can with his dumbass. I mean, we're not even drinking for that long. We're drinking for less than an hour, and he gets pounded. He gets like fucking it just hits him like a ton of bricks. So we're walking out, and he sees this bike. And he's like, I'm going to fucking ride this bike. So he grabs the bike, and he wants to try to ride the bike. He fucking picks it up. It's not changing anything. He starts riding it, and he just falls over into the bushes, okay? And so about that time that we do all this, me and another buddy are there with him. And we say, like, you got to go. You got to fucking run. You got to stay there. You got to hide in the bushes, do something. The University of Police are driving in the middle of the campus, and we see the lights going. We're like, this can't be us. Like, what the fuck? There's no way. They're coming for us. And so they pull up right in front of us. And we're on a sidewalk, like, in the middle of campus. Like, you can't be – basically, no one drives this way. And so he parks, and he's like, you three, come here. So we come over there. And my buddy, he's just like, dude, what are we fucking going to do? He's like, he's done. We're done. We're fucking done. And so we are just sitting there, and the officer's like, be honest with us. Be honest, has any of y'all been drinking? And we're like, no, officer, no, not to our knowledge, blah, blah, blah. Just kind of fucking try to get past it, whatever. Because my buddy, he's...
to our knowledge.
but he's like, like any of the other people. So he tries to individualize us and take us to the side. And so I'm like, no, I don't think so. I don't think anybody has had anything, blah, blah. And he, gets the light out, looks at our eyes. Me and my other buddy pass. We're good to go. And my other buddy drank too. I don't know how the fuck he passed, but he passed. But my buddy that is slobbered, he fucking doesn't pass. Slobber knockered. And
No.
he's basically just fucking he's done. He's done. So we're sitting there. The cop ends up putting my buddy in the back, and my other buddy, he lets us go, and I figure we're fucked anyways. Like if he knew he was drinking, like you could definitely like just fucking throw us in there with him. Why not? Because you have suspicion on it. So he takes my buddy to the jail, and my other buddy, like we go to another dorm room of another friend of mine, and he just gets in there, he starts fucking crying. I'm like, what are you crying about? He's like, that could have been my whole life in front of us. Like, no, you're good. Like, it's just a fucking. He's gonna have.
Up, bitch!
Yeah, he is. I was like, yeah.
Snap out of it.
But he had to spend the night in a drunk tank, and it was over. It was just really stupid. And the funniest part, though, and I'm a really bad storyteller, but it was the funniest part was him trying to drive that bike down the sidewalk, wrecking it, and like he could have got for Grand Theft Auto. I don't know. He could have got that too. Add another charge on
You
him.
can get in trouble even if it's a bike for like
Yeah.
DUI, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think if it's it might have to be a motor vehicle, but it could be something similar to that. They probably gotten people for horses and shit like that.
Like a golf cart.
And shit.
Yeah, exactly. So, but anyways, we picked him up the next morning. He apologized and stuff, and the girl he was dating, her dad. Yeah, she was pretty hot. Her dad was one of the head officials at the college, and he calls me the next day because we were pretty close, and he was like, "Hey, I saw so and so in the newspaper. Was that my daughter's boyfriend?" And I was like, "No, that wasn't him. There's so many other people by that same name because he had a pretty common name, but." I just remember lying about that, and it always comes up as me. Every time I see him, I'm like, I fucking lied to him. And he knew that I was lying to him the whole time. But anyways, they're not together anymore, and he's good, and he doesn't do anything crazy now. But just a little side story. Do you have any of those chronic crazy stories with some of your buddies?
Before someone gets into it, are the
This one
dorms
time,
like
I was
separated?
drinking root beer.
Yeah. Are the dorms like separated by gender?
There were
Some of them.
some of
Mine
them.
wasn't.
There
I'm
two
just
of them
saying,
were.
guys.
There was a boys dorm, and there's a girls dorm, and then all the other ones are mixed.
Mine was separated by floors, like boys' floor, girls' floor.
Yeah.
Okay. And what did that girl call the cops on you guys for? Was it for drinking or was it for being in their dorm, like because you were guys or whatever?
Yeah. Well, I don't
Sorry,
know what I don't really know.
I think I missed the.
I don't really know. She just called the cops. She's like, "We're fucking
Okay.
calling the cops." That's all she said. "We're fucking calling the cops." So
What the fuck?
yeah. But anyways,
Sounds like a great person.
yeah, she's a bitch.
Hova, hit us with a crazy growing up story.
Growing up or like a drunken friend story?
It could be both.
Yes. Well, no, the drunken
Yes.
friends, because Hova,
Yeah.
Hova
She'll
has
put a
had
yes.
drunken friends, including us,
So-
but we're not bad.
I had a buddy in high school, another underage. Okay, before we get into it, guys, if you're listening at home and you're gonna drink under the age, there's nothing we can do to stop that. But I think what Deluxe's story and what you'll gather from mine and anybody else that maybe will share something tonight is that if you're gonna do it at home and do it
And it's
safe.
cool to do.
I didn't say that.
I didn't say that.
Cheers to
So I had this buddy. He was actually a grade above me. I think he was a senior. I was a junior. He like bought a kit of how it was like a kit. Yeah, they have like a brew your own beer at home and shit like that.
Yeah.
Well, he bought one of those, but it was for wine. It was like make your own wine, and all you do is like take your favorite fruit, and then with whatever came in the kit, yeast and whatever else, you make your own wine. So he had this wine, and he's like, "Hey man," he's like, "we should go to the fair tonight and drink this wine." And I'm like, "Fuck yeah, dude! I'm a junior. I ain't got shit else going on, you know." So, like,
I'm a junior. I'm a badass.
hey, you know,
Kind of a
yeah,
big
right?
deal.
Like, I would get some.
At least
I'm
I ain't a
fuck,
sophomore.
I'm awesome.
I'm a junior.
Hadn't had my driver's license for very long. Let's rage, you know? So like we go to his house, we pick up. He's got all this bootleg like home brewed wine that he made, and he's got it in Gatorade bottles.
What
which
was
is
the
fucking
fruit?
Genius.
Do you know what the fruit was?
I don't remember what it was now.
Pomegranate.
Yeah.
A lot of people do strawberries because it's the easiest thing to get a hold of that actually tastes decent.
Yeah. I don't remember.
I know what you're talking about, Hova, because I've done the same thing. Well, I've had people do
Yeah,
it.
it was, I want to say it was like blackberries or blueberries or something like that. So I went over there and I'm like, I don't even like wine, but whatever. Like at that point, you don't even really care what you're drinking. So, but he's got it all in Gatorade bottles, which is like genius because like we're underage, we can't be like carrying it around, and I don't know. Gatorade bottles
course.
just kind of sells it. You know what I'm saying? So, got all these Gatorade bottles, and we go to the damn fair. We're like walk around and get drunk off this fucking homemade wine, and no one stopped us and checked or anything. That was all good, but it was after we were done with the shenanigans, that shit got a little crazy. We decided it was time to leave, and he got way more drunk than I did. Like, I was drinking, but I wasn't like hammered because I had to drive. And so we're like walking out, and there's highway patrol officers that like patrol, and they're like on fucking segways, which is like the most intimidating thing ever.
Yeah, of course. Ball blart, no cop.
Dude, I always laugh when I see a cop on a Segway, man. It's so funny.
You know they'll beat your ass though. They'll jump
I know,
around.
that's the
They'll
thing.
fucking
Just
pick
ramp
that
over you.
Segway up and just beat you with it.
Riding around that Segway, gathering testosterone.
Yeah, so like there's these cops behind us as we're walking out, and for what like he knew that they were there for whatever reason. He had to take a piss though, and he's like pissing in the middle of the street. Like didn't even try to like walk off the street and find like a dark spot or anything. He just starts pissing right there, and for some reason, I don't know how we got so lucky, but somehow the cops didn't see it. Like they were coming our way, and I'm like, dude, the fucking cops are coming. You gotta come. I guess it was dark enough. Whatever. Somehow he got his dick back in his pants. I didn't help. I promise. But we leave, and we're leaving. Everything's okay. But I needed some gas to get home, so then I stopped at a gas station. It's late enough at night. It's one of those gas stations that like the pumps are open, but no one's working inside. So filling up some gas, and I'm like not paying attention to my drunken idiot friend, which I should have been doing. I look back. This is at the time I'm driving a big ass fucking candy van. Like it was the biggest fucking van ever. And I look, and he's like got the back doors open, and you know those beverage coolers that they like fill up with ice and energy drinks like outside.
Yes.
He's loading one of those into the back of my van.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Just like just proud as can be about it. And by the time I notice that it's happening, like I'm already done pumping gas and everything, he's already got it in and like got the doors like shut. And so like I felt like I just had to roll with it at that point. So we straight stole a beverage cooler thing, and but we got away with it. Nothing happened that night. That was miraculously we survived and didn't get arrested. So good times.
Well, this podcast is actually a sting for the FBI. We got them, boys. They've been looking for these culprits for 20 years.
We found your drinks.
Wow, that's
It didn't have anything in it. It was just an empty fucking cooler, and like he didn't have a reason for wanting it. I think he just thought it was funny that he was stealing it while I was pumping gas and didn't notice.
Yeah, remember when we were in Wisconsin like a month ago, and some dude drunk off his ass on a bicycle? That was a great one too.
Bicycle. That's the first thing I thought of.
Yeah, like so you, me, I think Pamaj and Tima were walking down the sidewalk. Yeah, and it was late. It was late on a weeknight, so there wasn't like that many people out. But the people that were out were drinking, and it was like 1 or 2 a.m. And this dude, drunk off his ass, you could see him coming from across the street, like out of our peripheral vision. He says like bye to his friends at this bar across the street. Rides towards us diagonally. I think he just needed to go home, and we were on the sidewalk he needed to be on. But he rides like diagonally across the street, hits the curb, like doesn't even make an attempt to lift his wheel up over the curb, just straight hits it, beefs on the fucking sidewalk, rolls over. Really hard wipeout, like made a loud sound, like his body was a garbage can and it just got thrown on the street. So because at this point we were like 3 feet ahead of him, and we turn around because somebody just died behind us, and he gets up, he's like, I'm fine, because he doesn't feel anything but he's like, I'm fine, but I gotta take a piss. So he's like, I'm gonna pull my dick out, and we're like, okay, but like we weren't gonna
joking.
Yeah, like I opened my mouth, but so no, but we were like, yeah, we thought he was joking, but he like really started to like unzip. So I was like, so we all turned our heads because we didn't want to see dick, and then he did just urinate. Yeah.
Well, okay, playing it back in my head, it's like that Nick Swartzen joke where he goes and gets a massage, and like in one motion she flips him over and grabs his dick and starts jerking. I don't know if anybody's heard that, but anyways, it was like the guy like wrecked his bike and in the same motion whipped his cock out.
It was within 5 seconds of 5 seconds from violent bike accident, like those ones you see on YouTube, where on the Tour de France, where 20 people fall down. Like he was the first one. Violent bike accident to I need to pull my dick out now.
Doesn't try to turn the other way or anything. He's just like making eye contact with T Martin, like
if we would have,
bro.
If one of us would have had the fortitude to stare him in the eyes, he would have stared down our souls as he held his dick in his hand and urinated. He would have done it.
Great.
But we didn't do that. We had the common courtesy to not.
Joel, remember when you hit that Uber driver's door on the curb and ruined his car?
Oh
I do not remember that. Wait, when was this?
It was,
Oh, this was when we were all together, right? I was there.
Yeah, in San Francisco.
Yeah, he was dropping us off at the hotel,
hate
and
an
you
Uber
open the door and
driver's
just like
door.
slams into the
Yeah.
curb, and you're like,
Oh,
sorry.
sorry.
about that.
Yeah.
I don't remember this at all. I feel like I
It was
feel-
after
I feel
Fogo,
bad
right?
about that.
Yeah, it was after Foco.
Remember that time in San Diego where Speedy showed up at the hotel at 8 a.m.?
Yeah, that was an interesting night.
Yeah.
I remember.
I remember.
Speaking of conventions,
Joel, hey, you guys ready? We're thinking about going and getting some breakfast. Speedy never came home last night. Oh. And then,
Yeah.
like, I think 10 minutes later or something, he's like, okay, Speedy's
I've
back
had-
now. And I'm like, what the fuck?
I have had two, like, Speedy is responsible, holds his liquor better than anyone I've ever met. But I've had two situations where I thought I lost him, and that is my fault. Seriously,
Don't tell me.
there was one time when he was when he was in Michigan. I was 5 minutes away from calling the police. Like to the point where
Oh, at the game?
yeah. We were in a crowd because it was a tailgate, and these tailgates if anyone's been on a major college campus, if you're at a tailgate and it just at the tennis courts on MSU's campus, there's probably like 3,000 people just in that one area. Just there's multiple DJs playing music, and it's loud as fuck, and the lines for the porta pies are so long. So Speedy had a bit to drink, and we all had, but Speedy had a good one, and we all go into the porta pies at the same time, and we walk out, and myself, a friend from high school, and Megan, and we didn't see Speedy. And then actually my friend from high school, who was very concerned about Speedy, thought he was like the coolest person he'd ever met. He's like, dude, your friend can drink a lot. He's like, dude, this dude's fun. Yeah. And,
See how much dick he can take.
Yeah. No. He opened up the porta potty door to the one he was in, and there was some like big guy. I'll say it. He was a big black guy. He's like, well, what the fuck? He's like, oh, dude, I'm sorry, man. I'm just trying to see some dick. No, he's just trying to find my friend.
But a real dick.
Yeah, trying to see a real dick. And so we looked around this area for. Megan found him. He was just standing in the corner, just like looking at the crowd. He didn't go. Like it was just very cordial. Like, Speedy was just standing there. But
I don't remember any.
Do you
of this.
remember that?
Yeah.
It really happened.
I don't even know how I got
amazing.
to the tailgate. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah, we walked you. Yeah.
Down
No.
on the field, Speedy's just cornholing the mascot.
No, all of a sudden it's third quarter and Joel brings me hot chocolate and a hot dog, and that's the only thing I remember.
Yeah, that was
good friend Joel, dude. Good friend Joel.
No, seriously.
No, yeah, and it's tough because he's Speed's stronger than me. So like if he wanted to break away or like push me, he could have, but he did. He was just chill. He's pretty chill. When we're all different levels. Like I just get sad mostly when I drink, which is me now. But because the Lions. But he just becomes very chill, but he'll randomly scream things like "fuck Tom Izzo" at the top of his lungs.
Right next to the student section.
Yeah, right next to the student section at Michigan State, and it's like, oh my god.
If you don't know what that means, it's not good.
Yeah, but no, that was like that was a very fun night. But tell us your crazy drinking story, Side.
But this one time, I had too many lemonades.
I really had to pee.
Over the
And
top.
I was dying to pee. Yeah.
I was at the Outback. I busted in. I didn't know what Sheilas and Blokes were.
Yeah.
I really had to pee.
What the hell is the Sheila?
I asked for a Coke. She gave me a Diet Coke, drank it anyway, and made a vlog about how I got poisoned.
Yeah, I got poisoned. The waiter tries to poison me.
Oh god. All right, so y'all talked a little bit about conventions. Is there any like crazy? Don't say their names, of course, but is there any like YouTuber crazy stories that you guys have?
Let's end our careers.
No, it's not even that. It's like, do you have a YouTuber, like some YouTuber did something crazy, or what's the best convention to go to when you want to hang out or something? Go ahead, Trevor.
Sorry, I remember, Tobuscus. Remember the fucking Titanfall event? He's just like healing around like a little. He was like exactly like I imagined he would be.
Are you talking? Well, it was an Assassin's Creed. Is that what you're talking about?
I didn't go to that. No, 100%. It was the Titanfall event. I remember the giant.
It was the
fucking
Assassin's
stupid
Creed
statue
party.
was-
It was the Assassin's
Yeah,
Creed.
but he was at the Titanfall
Yeah.
capture event. You cocksmokers.
Oh, I
was
wasn't
getting a
at-
drink
so
at the bar,
I wasn't
and
at
he leaned
that.
on over and giggled at me, and I was like,
I wasn't at that. You and Speedy.
"Oh, yeah, that's
and,
right.
yeah,
That's
I wasn't
where
at that
I threw
one.
up on Major Nelson. Yeah, Speedy was there.
Oh my god.
Yeah, speaking of drunk stories, whoever threw up on Major Nelson?
Really?
I was just sick. That was a fucking. I hated that event. We got flown in, and like an hour later, we were at this recording event at like 10 o'clock at night, which is like normally not how those things go. Usually, we get flown in, we get a night to sleep, then we get to do the thing the next morning, or even like a little bit later the next afternoon. But yeah, it was like all on the same night. I had like 2 beers or some shit, but I just felt like balls from like travel or whatever. I don't know. And then yeah, I threw up on Major Nelson, and Toby Healy'd on me, so it was a fucking crazy night, dude.
Sounds like a good recipe.
Yeah, it was crazy, dude.
Oh no. Is there
That
anything?
was when we got our NVIDIA shields, man. Remember that?
Oh, I'm Ember.
What is NVIDIA Shield? What the hell's that again?
It's like a.
Portable-
Cute little Game Boy thing.
Yes.
Like an
Yeah, it's-
Xbox with a Game Boy on it, or Xbox controller.
Yeah, it's a mobile gaming thing. I think you're supposed to like stream games to it too. Like you can sync it with your computer and stream games to the Shield. Like I think you're supposed to be able to play like Call of Duty and shit on it. Even I don't know.
Do they have games still for it, or is that a thing?
It's like
It's
runs-
mobile PC stuff. So
Yeah,
Okay.
It runs like Android, so you can get all the mobile games you can think of, but it's also like a streaming device.
Oh, and D4, you asked about the best convention. I think most people would say the favorite convention to like hang out at is some type of PAX, but I think all of our favorite convention, well, just all like Speedy Hova and I meant, is E3 that we've been to because, like I'm just not a big, I don't want to like a panel person. Like pretty much most of what you would do at those PAXs is go to panels. I mean, they do have some games displayed, but especially at PAX East, not a lot of games have announced their plans for the year, so you don't see a lot of stuff.
They hold a lot of it. So.
Yeah, and the parties are pretty good, but at E3, I mean, the parties are equal, and that's the big money show. Everyone's on the floor. The floor is huge. There's 2 different sections. All major brands are there, and a lot of lights and a lot of colors and all that. Cool. I mean, at this last year, E3, like movie studios were there and stuff, like promoting movies. Like 10 Cloverfield Lane had a really cool setup. It's like a bigger thing. I like that a lot more, and I like Los Angeles more than Boston or Seattle.
I think another cool thing about E3 is that it compares. It's still not as okay. So like Comic-Con, you see a lot of celebrities. Like I had never seen so many celebrities in my life. Whenever we went to Comic-Con, you just like spot them everywhere. But Comic-Con is fucking crazy because it's a convention open to the public, and like those celebrities are like getting mobbed by groups of people and lots of security and shit. But like E3 is cool because there's like lots of celebrities, not lots, but you'll see celebrities like on the
Like
show
walking
floor and
around,
everything.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's not anything that there has to be like extra security for or whatever because it's like whatever it is, press only or invite. I think it's invite only technically, or whatever. So there's only like industry people or whatever, and it's kind of like more laid back and chill and professional. Like I remember we were walking the first year we went. We walked by like Trey Parker and Matt Stone. They were doing their little camera spiel for Stick of Truth and
Walk by
it's just-
Conan O'Brien.
Right, yeah, and it's not really unusual to see celebrities and be like right next to them instead of them being behind like a mob of people or some shit.
Like Comic-Con San Diego, it has to be the biggest convention in terms of a media convention. I think that's like the premier one in the United States now, just because like every movie and TV show and video game, like they all set up there. That's the big one. But for mostly video game related stuff, it's I like E3. I'm sure people like TwitchCon a lot too. But
I like MagCon.
the MagCon. Yeah,
Meeting Nash Greer was awesome.
To see my favorite miners. Oh, but I saw this. Someone tweeted this at us. I think he was either tweeted at Sidearms and I or Speedy and I. It was this cutout from a magazine, probably like J14 or Tiger Beat or one of those fucking magazines. It was who said this quote? One of those little quizzes. Nash Greer or Gandhi? And it looked pretty tough. It was just like. Vine ends. Do we have any eulogies for Vine? Vine ends, I think, next week. They're going to officially shut it down and turn it into a camera app.
Oh, it's okay. They're on Netflix now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really? Nash is on
Cam.
Netflix?
No, Cam is.
That Cam kid has a Netflix show.
Oh yeah, I saw that on it.
Holy shit!
I didn't
dude.
know who it
The
was, but
social
yeah.
media
Duck it, Nash.
translates to Netflix really well. I saw what's his face's movie on there, and it has a 1.5 star rating.
That's pretty good.
What's the Natural Born Pranks?
Yeah.
Oh, Ramen and
Wait, that's that
Yeah.
1.5 star rating?
Yeah, I was actually
Whoa.
like, oh, I want to check this out. You know, like I've seen their videos and shit, so like, want to see how good this is. And then I saw the rating, and I'm like, well, fuck
What's
that.
like the highest rated? I wonder what the highest rated social media. I bet Lily Sings movies on Netflix. I wonder what maybe that.
Dude, she's everywhere. Lily Sings everywhere. She does every single thing. She's like
I'm
taking
gonna
on
have
the
to
platform.
disagree.
Right,
She's
probably
not a
Fred the movie.
she's not a multi-dimensional being. She probably is in one location right now, but she will
Sure.
be in a
Yeah,
separate
Deluxe,
location.
come on, man.
Yeah,
You know
God,
this.
don't
my
fucking
bad,
lie
my
on
bad,
this
my
podcast,
bad.
dude.
Jesus Christ.
He lies to
It's
us.
Jason
Awesome.
Bourne. All right, but yeah, it's nuts how how can Vine lose so much money? I don't really get that.
Well, because they didn't. How did Vine make? I don't even know if Vine made any money.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how do you not make money? Throw some ads on it.
A lot of the apps that come out like that, they're just kind of a overnight success, and no one expects it, and then they kind of like get private funding from all these companies, and what they do with that, I don't fucking know. Like, apps are so confusing because like people put so much money into them just to get like a user base.
The
They,
concept.
like, try to turn it into
Yeah.
something later that monetizes, but it doesn't always work out like that. I don't know. It's fucking.
Weren't
that's
they
one of my
paying
favorite-
Vine stars though?
I
I don't
think
think
it's
they
them. I think
were.
it's just like like Tide. You know, Tide's gonna pay him to make a fucking.
Yeah,
Vine.
like
Shit, I
Logan
spilled
Paul.
jizz on
Logan
my
Paul
underwear.
got
Wash it with Tide.
that story about how Logan Paul got paid like $300,000 to do something
That's
for
crazy.
6 seconds straight. But
Yeah, they didn't. They fucked
it-
up. They didn't do their research on that.
Yeah, but like the fucking this, it always reminds me with any of these apps or like social media when you find out that they actually don't make money. I think YouTube maybe started turning a profit recently. I don't even know if they have. Twitter has trouble turning a profit.
Take
That
40%
scene.
of our shit.
Yeah, that scene in that scene in The Social
doing
Network
fine.
where like Justin Timberlake is getting a drink and he's like explaining to a young Mark Zuckerberg about like what is cool. Like, don't put ads on Facebook. It's not quote unquote cool. Like, these concepts are all cool to people, but and then you start following. Oh, Snapchat, doesn't have a lot of. But then when you put you got to find a way to do organic advertising, or oh my god, they put ads on Facebook now. Fuck Facebook. And so it's this like thin line where I don't, Vine doesn't want to put ads on because that's not what people signed up for. But then Vine doesn't turn a profit, and they
Shut down.
they just collapse so
Like,
quickly.
Imagine all the server space that it takes to run a fucking app like Vine, where
Right.
God knows the number of users that are using that and uploading pointless fucking shit all day long because they think their friends give a fuck about what they're eating for dinner, but they don't. I mean, their overhead has to be insane.
I just don't get it how they can not sell that to somebody or do something with it, not just let it die. Like, holy crap, that's a lot of users, that's a lot of information. They could give out. I'm not saying they are going to give out people's information. They could give emails and stuff like that to a lot of people and make a lot of money. I just don't know how Vine, how big they are, goes underneath. That's crazy. And
That's
all
why
of them.
I never see YouTube having a competitor because all the Vine stars just flooded to YouTube.
Oh, and they're
that's
doing
what-
so
all making-
great.
They're doing so good at YouTube too.
They are,
Just
dude.
Brand new YouTube channels for YouTube to sell fresh ads on, and just all this like
The
it's
algorithm
such a
loves them.
monopoly.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Fucking algorithm loves them. But yeah, there's a couple of Viners that I keep up on YouTube, and I'll be honest, they do a really good job making videos. And I'm not just saying that just because, but they put some time in it. They've done really well with collaborations coming into the space. They'll take like some of the bigger people that they've run into in LA and other places that they've gone for events, and they collab with those. And it's just been crazy to see the growth of all these Vine stars. It's nuts.
You know what I think is like I don't know. From what I've noticed, at least, it seems like Vine stars, people, their fans or whatever, are much more susceptible to like brand integrations. Like, they'll do, I don't know, like a Vine advertisement for, like, my example was Tide, but can't think of anything specifically. But it's stuff like that. I don't know, like whatever they do for like product placement or whatever is just like boom, like in your face, like super. I don't know, but like YouTubers, like we get shit if we play a fucking game and link it in the description, as a paid advertisement.
I think that
I feel
helps
like
for them
Vine
to
stars can
all
get away with like anything. They can fucking-
for them to all work together too, because they all do it a similar way. But like a lot of them have like a professional setup, and they all live in those like Hollywood Vine apartments in that like West Hollywood or wherever it is. I think it's near like the Dolby Theater or whatever. But they all those advertisements for the really big ones are all professionally filmed, and you're like, oh, maybe it looks different. Whereas I don't know, this like YouTubers don't in general work together at all, and I don't know how you could expect that because it's multiple countries and multiple people, but that does work really well for them.
Weird.
Yeah. The YouTube platform itself is so huge. I was looking the other day on just some analytics stuff and looking at some of the top, 5,000 YouTube channels, and there was a bunch that I had no clue about, and they were from the U.S. It's not like they were foreign language or anything like that. I look on there, and this space is so big, and then I go on and I see like Playlist Live is tweeting out people on their Twitter page, and there's people I've never heard of in my life that have huge followings that I've never known. And I used to think that I kept up with the space pretty well, but the space is so freaking big now. I don't think you can keep up with any of it now. It's crazy. I can't even keep up with gaming section alone, and there's so many different sections. ASMR is a huge thing in the community now, and it has its own it's got its own space, and there's so many people that follow it, and they all kind of know each other, and it's crazy. It's just to me, there's so many different avenues that you can go down on YouTube, and you get to that weird video every once in a while too. That's just like, where the fuck? How did I get here? So like related videos and suggested videos. I have no clue how I get some places sometime, and I think someone just linked in our Skype some video that was suggested that's fucking just weird. I don't know. It's just so weird, and how big the space is.
Some guy sawed a tree in half and there's a snake in the middle.
Yeah, like what the fuck? Like how do we even get there? And like their space is so huge, and I don't get how some of these videos get so many views on them. Like where the fuck are they coming? I don't know where they come from.
We gotta
It's
make
ridiculous.
a fucking channel that opens toys. That's all I know. What I've seen. That's what we need to do.
Yeah, you just need to open toys and
Play with baby dolls.
yeah,
Yeah.
just play with the
Except for
toys
pretend that
and
you're really
make
excited
voices and
about
stuff.
toys.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Have you seen that, Hova? There's these channels
It's ridiculous.
that they play like what you would play, like G.I. Joes and Barbie dolls and shit. They just do little voices over them, and they're horrible. Yeah, they're horrible. Like their mom and dad are recording them playing with dolls, and they get millions of views, and they're making millions of dollars off of them playing with toys. I have no clue, and they have the same song over every single one of them in the background.
Copyright free.
Copyright free, my friend. It's just a weird part of YouTube, and the YouTube now is so much different than every single year before. It's just crazy that this last year has been the rise of the weirdest categories in all of YouTube. We've seen a rise in the news channels. These toys have been coming out for the last 3 or 4 years. The role play stuff with the baby dolls and shit, that's gone through the roof. There's these groups of I don't know if you've seen this, but there's groups of it's almost like boy bands and girl bands, but it's not really bands. They do everything. They do these the live shows, and they also do these skit videos with each other, like 7, 10, 11 girls. They all go to somebody's house, and they all just talk and interact with each other and say oh my god, you would throw
kissing.
water balloons at each other, and they're like, oh my god, yeah, exactly. It's
That wasn't
It's a
YouTube
nipple.
before.
oh sorry about that.
That was a different
Yeah,
Pornhub.
start licking.
But it's so weird.
I linked a while back. I don't know if you guys remember, but I linked a channel that I stumbled upon. It was in my suggestions or whatever, but I found one video of this. I saw the thumbnail and I was like, "Holy fuck! I have to click that." It clicked. It might not. It clickbaited the shit out of me on a personal level. Anyways, it was 10,000 matches, I think, that somebody took the time to glue, hot glue, the bottom end of a match to a board, and just all right next to each other, 10,000, I think it was. It just so you can imagine a thumbnail where you see 10,000 matches standing upright, it looked amazing, and he just lights one of them with a really nice quality camera and plays it in fucking slow-mo and then regular speed and everything, and then I got to looking. I was just is this just a one-off video, But on his channel, he just has dozens of videos of him arranging matches in different tower shapes and different flat shapes and stuff, and then just lighting them on fire. Millions and millions, tens of millions of views, hundreds of millions of views. Fucking crazy.
I saw one, Hova, that's not. It's in the same category. They didn't really clickbait it, but that some kid, and you can probably look this up. I don't know what they're like Orbeez or Orbits or something like that. There's little bitty balls that
Orbeez things.
Orbeez. Yeah, he filled a whole swimming pool full of them, and he has like people jumping him, like
I've heard about that.
millions
Somebody-
of views.
Somebody was making fun of that on Twitter. They're like, how the fuck do these people, after they just pour, like pounds of Orbeez into their pool, like how do they clean those up? Like what
Right?
happens to these Orbeez afterwards?
One of my
Which is
favorite
a
videos
very
I've
valid
seen
question.
that makes me like hate what I do as a YouTuber. There's this video called ASMR fan sounds, like the ASMR trend or whatever, and it's a girl who turned her fan on in front of a camera, like an actual fan that blows air, and it has like 50,000 views. So whenever I get a video that has like 30,000 views or something, I just think to myself, I just should have turned my fan on and filmed it. Like I put all this editing in, I put all this blood, sweat, and tears, and that bitch just turned a fan on.
I can't say much because I filmed a magician on the pier one time and got 1 million views. All I had to do was put the
Yeah, it all comes around. It all goes around, but it's just you just see that stuff and it's so goofy. Oh.
I saw one too. Now we're still on this, but it was one of them ASMR channels. Like I went to say, hey, what's the highest views on this guy's channel? Whatever. It was a 3-hour video of him whispering into the mic. They have ASMR mics. I'm not fucking kidding you. I'm not kidding you. They have like these ears that come off the mic, and you can go to each side of it, and it goes to each side of your headphones. So they're like, and then they on this side. Exactly. It's fucking weird as fuck. It was 3 hours.
Weirdos watch that.
It was millions of views. He had like 6 million views on it.
People get off to it, man.
Dude, it's crazy, dude. How much fucking
I
money?
do listen to some of them for ambient noise. I will say
Wow.
I don't want to.
Oh, whoa.
Here's my question.
When Side comes over,
Cancel
I will
the flight,
watch
Joe.
it.
Do the whispering video, right? Obviously, guys are masturbating to this, but the question is,
Yes.
are they soft masturbating or hard masturbating?
I would say soft.
That's what I.
Or whatever
Can't
style
be
they enjoy.
hard, No.
No,
Yeah.
see, I don't know. I feel like you have to soft masturbate to that. To,
Yeah.
But
Violently?
if you soft masturbate to whispering videos, do you ever just turn on the golf channel like,
But see,
oh,
that's-
stepping up to the tee? Oh,
But
my
I'm wondering if
fucking
that's why
dick
it's.
is hard.
Oh yeah, Eldrick.
I'm wondering if that's why it's 3 hours long, because if they're so delicately jerking off.
They're just edging.
You know
the
what
whole
the
way through
best
the
part
video.
about those-
Exactly, it's a 3-hour edge video.
Well, for
to
the-
get
for
off
the-
Oh
in
my
1 second.
god, that's a lot of edging.
No, for the creators, like the best part about those videos, people fall asleep to those videos.
Gotta keep
so
it
you
going.
get
Oh, and it
stupid
keeps playing
watch
the next
time
fucking
because of
video in their playlist.
and then it auto plays, motherfuckers fall asleep.
Put 'em at the top.
Autoplay. Yeah.
This is the meta to YouTube. We don't need to be
Why
making engaging,
do we
exciting
suck?
content. We
Boring
need to make
ass
videos
content.
That send people to fucking sleep. That's our main goal.
We need to go backwards.
Holy
This part right
shit.
here is where we go.
Yeah,
back,
then the
back.
playlist just keeps playing. You get
Exactly.
video
We're
after
getting ad
video.
revenue.
Oh my
They
god,
can't-
we're
yeah,
doing
they
YouTube
can't-
wrong.
They can't click
Side,
out. They just
Side, when
they
you
have
come
to
over,
watch.
can we try to make an ASMR video?
I guess,
God, you
man.
guys should do it.
I
It'd be an experience.
Well,
Please
the problem
don't.
is I'm gonna have. Beatty.
That'll be a couple hours out of our time together, though.
Oh.
I'm gonna have to ask you to
Let's split
not
the ad revenue
laugh.
with you.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll
okay,
split
deal
the ad
breaker.
revenue. Dude, well, it's gonna be if we're whispering things into the mic.
Hey,
like,
Side, don't have fun. Oh, okay. Don't worry, Joe.
it's for the user's experience side. You know,
Yeah.
a masseuse just can't stick a carrot up your ass because they're having fun. Like they have to do their job.
That's not the same. Oh,
Dude.
no.
Dude, we're gonna go sledding. We're gonna have a bunch of stuff to do.
Sledding?
Oh, I don't want to come back home with
Dude,
a
he's gonna
broken
break
arm,
something,
Joe.
yeah, for
bro.
Have you ever been sledding?
No.
You gotta take side sledding.
Jesus Christ.
Pussy.
Side cancels
It,
sledding.
it never snows here enough for it to, do things, I guess.
Well,
You're
we're
not
definitely
making
going
it
down a
sledding now.
mountain.
Yeah, you just need a fucking.
If he really does break his arm, like what? Yeah, we just go to the bottom of the hill. Oh man, that was a great ride. My fucking arm's broken, man.
Yeah,
I'm like,
what
hey, no, you're
Well-
not supposed to put your arm under the sled, dude. What are you doing?
Brace for impact.
Although, I will say, it was one time, it was on, like, Christmas Day, I think. I went sledding back when we used to have white Christmases. I went
Whoa, whoa.
sledding.
Let's
and
not bring
I,
race into it.
I hit a,
Come on, man.
Why can't the Christmas be black?
2017 has to be
You know-
different.
the,
Donald Trump and his global warming.
That was ignoring us all.
Keep going, Shadow. You're good.
but, my head ran into, I ran into one of those, we call them pricker bushes. I don't know if you guys call them that, but
Oh
they
my
have
God.
they have the little thorns
Balls
on
that
the side
stick.
thorns
Yeah, the
on
little
side of the
sticky
branches. No, not this. Not the.
Oh, I
sticky
know what
ball.
you mean.
Just
Yeah.
the thorny
But
bush,
like,
yeah.
and like it just, I went in there and one of the branches just wrapped completely around my neck
Oh,
and
Jesus,
just
fuck.
and
Jesus
just cut
Christ.
it. Like it wasn't a deep cut, obviously, because like I'm alive.
The first cut's the
Um,
deepest. Though.
All right,
But,
Joe Crow.
Did that come to your mind? Like your jugular could have been sliced?
No, I was like 10.
Yeah, he probably would have thought my neck, not
Dumbass.
jugular.
My
But,
back.
but I
Oh, Sam, my
I will say the cut looked amazing.
Oh.
Unfortunately, it healed before I went back to school, and I had a cool story to tell. But
Choker.
like the rest of the day, like I was afraid to eat or drink anything because I was afraid it was all gonna come like pouring out of my neck.
Like,
Well, I'm glad that you're finally talking about this with us because
I
feel
know.
like this is something that's bothered you for a long time.
like in the cartoon Shadow, when
It
when they drink
really-
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Comes out the bullet holes.
No, I remember just sitting in there, just like at Christmas dinner, like, hey, you want some hot chocolate? No. I don't want it to come pouring out. The things we think when we're kids.
Right.
Yeah, like Santa Claus, son of a bitch. So
Oh,
that's the
God.
biggest
Wow.
ruse in all of the world.
Wait, what? What
You
are
know
we
why
talking
that was
about?
made up?
What?
Wait, what?
Hello?
What?
This is news to me. Hold on, guys. I gotta.
Joel's married
get a
since
drink.
when?
What?
Is this the end of the podcast, D4? Do you have to wrap it up?
No, we're good.
What's our time at?
We are sitting
paying
pretty,
attention.
my friend. We're sitting at 53 minutes.
This isn't a 2-hour special?
No, it's not.
Got 6 more minutes of content. Well, it depends on how long the outro is.
That's true. I do boost the outro quite a bit, my friends.
One time,
Can I handle a 2-hour upload?
Oh no, hell no, not this internet. Okay, I went for the internet without
Best
for
internet crew.
3 months. What are you gonna do, man?
I remember.
You remember? I remember.
Shadow, your story reminded me of one time when I was in elementary school. I was playing basketball, and one of the older kids went to block my shot, and he sliced my
that
eye
with
with
you.
his fingernail,
Oh.
and my eye started bleeding.
Holy
One of
fuck.
the
God
probably
damn.
probably worst pain I've ever experienced. I haven't experienced a lot of pain in my life, but getting your eye cut really hurts. And I had to leave school because this was in the morning, so I had to leave school, and I had to get like my eye dilated and all that stuff, and I had to wear the like the big I had to put an eye patch on and wear the big sunglasses, and I came
I'm
back
a
to
pirate.
yeah, I came back to school. I came back to school like an hour before school was out to get my shit, like my backpack and stuff. And one of my friends came up to me and he like hugged me, and I was like, "Whoa," because we weren't
he
boys
hot?
like that, you know. Well,
We were cool, but we weren't
yeah,
that cool.
that was before I had actually touched his cock. Because we were only in the 5th grade, and in 6th grade was wild times. But anyways, so he got hooked. I was like, whoa, physical male contact. What's up, bro? He's like, dude, you're blind, right? And I was like,
All
no,
right,
no,
all
no.
right.
And I was like, no, what? I was like, what? He's like,
It's
dude,
me. Remember my smell.
he's like, everyone in the school thinks you're blind in one eye now, because I mean, I was like bleed, like the blood from my eye was dripping down my face, like onto my
Props to
shirt.
That dude, though, for like bringing out a man hug when he thought that his buddy
Yeah,
was.
he
His
thought,
boy
yeah.
just lost
I mean,
his
that
sight.
was
Yeah.
my best friend, dude. I just
Also-
saw his parents the other night. Yeah.
Props to him for thinking just because one of your eyes is injured that you're completely blind.
Well, okay, yeah, he did. He's like, blind in that eye, and I was like, no, dude.
Okay.
I think I'm. They said it's gonna recover. Like I'm gonna be. I'm okay. But in the time I had been gone, just during that day in the school, it was. Did you hear about Joel? Yeah, lost an eye today. Oh, Joel. You heard?
Yeah.
Oh, Joel. That's all.
I remember
Yeah,
just
lost an
Nearly
eye.
decapitated.
Lost
I
a damn
remember.
eye. I
Yeah,
remember.
lost a damn eye.
With a
Yeah.
walking stick and a CNI.
Yeah.
Old man
I got back to
Joel.
school. They pulled out the wheelchair.
His heating blanket.
We got some guys together. We wanted to do this for you.
Wanted to get you a hover round.
We
Yeah,
heard what happened.
We
Yeah.
went around collecting change at lunch. This is for your fake eye. Give me $20. No, yeah, it was a cool story. I mean, if I would have known how to capitalize on that, I could have got some women off of that. I could have got a lot of you just think about all the opportunities you missed, and
Just walk around and
My eye, but
grab
I
ass and just say, "Oh, sorry, I'm blind."
Oh, I didn't see
yeah.
you there.
partially blind.
My
Now,
first
what
feel
are
of
you
a
gonna do?
titty.
Yeah. I was just
Grow
trying
up
to
your
grab my-
teacher? Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was just trying to find my coat. Sir, you have both of your hands on my breast. I was like, whoa. Hey. Only
you
one.
sound
Call
like a
me-
guy.
Whoa, you
Well,
don't call me sir.
Yeah.
You have a deep voice.
You sound like
really
a
deep
guy.
voice. Oh shit, that's funny. Has
I
anybody
just
else
wanted to
broke
tell
any
you
bones? I broke my elbow playing Pee Wee football when I was in 6th grade, and like I've never broken another bone. Well, I did. I did break my orbital bone. If anybody knows what that is, it's the bone. Okay, so here's the orbital bone.
Like
it's
the
the
He was chewing gum and he fell.
no D20 was there. It's the bone in between your nose passage and your eye,
Yeah.
and
Nose
so.
pass.
Nose passage in your eye, and so every time I would blow my nose, my eye, like the eyelid, would blow up like a balloon.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Is that like the fighters?
yeah, exactly.
how do
Have you
you
seen that
do
before? So,
We
anyways,
saw that when we were watching UFC one.
yeah, we did. So I was playing flag football, and
without a helmet.
exactly,
Cowboys.
and it was my own teammate ran into me. We went both for I jumped for the flag, and the guy also jumped. We ran into each other. His elbow hit me right there in the side. It's just the upper part of your nose, and where your eye and your nose kind of connect, and it broke that bone right there. That bone actually it heals on its own. You don't have to go get surgery on it or anything, but it heals on its own. And I thought that I got hit real hard. And I was kind of like dizzy a little bit, but when I got up, I felt like I had a big booger in my nose, and I had to like hit a snot rocket out. So I did that, and my whole eyelid like blew up like a balloon.
Classic D4.
And then you can't do anything; you have to let it go down on its own. And so it goes like down on its own over time, and then if you do it again, it just blows back up. So yeah, it kind of gave me a half a black eye, but for the most part, it was just just a little painful when I got hit. But other than that, it wasn't that bad. But I did break my elbow in 6th grade, and I had to have one of those like from like your wrist all the way up to like almost like your bicep cast, and that was a bitch. I remember just how bad it itched all the time having a big ass cast. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I broke my wrist in 2nd grade, and not a story I'm proud of. Like people when you break a bone, you feel like you have like some like
Badass
cool
story.
epic
That is
badass
true. Like,
story.
that your automatic thing is like, oh, I thought you meant just like you feel guilty after you break a bone. You're like, I failed myself.
No, I'm just most times when you hear like somebody breaks a bone,
There's
it's just
a
like,
cool
oh yeah, like I was playing
I
football
was
and
lifting
like
a
some
car
guy
as a
rolled
child.
up. Yeah, I was in 2nd grade and I was at summer camp, I think it was, and the camp counselor was just throwing a football around.
You hot son?
Yeah, it was this guy, but
Was he hot?
And
I
I mean, you did him right.
Yeah, that's
What counselors are there for.
That's for another podcast.
Look at a flick of the wrist.
But yeah, we were throwing the football around, and then it got to be like the end of that activity or whatever for camp, and so just like
Y'all hit the
The other
showers
kid-
together.
the other kid,
Slipped
he
on the
was,
soap.
Did Tommy Salami come to help us counselors?
No, the other kid that
He didn't miss his shot.
we were playing catch with was like a lot older, and so the counselor he's a big dude. I remember saying like, all right, last one, here comes a bullet, and he just reared back and threw it as hard as he could. And me being a dumbass, I'm just like, hey, I'm gonna break up this pass, and the football broke my wrist.
Have y'all seen that Peyton Manning commercial where he hits those kids and like shit when he's going out for passes and shit?
When they're, like, on
That
the Saturday Night Live or
that's
something?
fucking Shadow, yeah. Oh shit.
But, I walked around. My mom said I walked around for 3 weeks with a broken wrist. I don't remember it being 3 weeks, but
Badass
like,
shadow.
I remember it being a week. I'm like, wow, like my wrist kind of hurts, and like I can't move it, but oh well.
He can't move 5 of his fingers. He's like,
And, yeah, then I got the cast on and kept slipping that. Like I'm like, fuck this cast, and so like I kept slipping out of it, like just taking it off my wrist because I guess they didn't put it on right or something. I'm like, fuck this life.
Dude, what kind of doctor you have? No wonder you're always salty as fuck against people, dude.
I
Fuck.
went to the YMCA and I got a cast that
I
night.
remember. All right, we're gonna. I remember like, all right, now we're gonna cut your cast off. I'm like, oh no, we don't have to cut it off, and I just like slid it off. Like, oh.
Magic. Whoop.
No, it's good. I take this off all the time.
Arm and it was a fucking Z.
Yeah, right. Oh shit.
Yeah, when I was in like 6th grade, I broke my like the bottom part of your thumb or whatever. Like I was playing basketball in gym, like the PE coach, he blew the whistle to put stuff up, so I was like, oh, gotta get off this last shot. So I shoot it, and this dude like comes out of nowhere after I've already shot it, like trying to pack the ball, and like hits my thumb or whatever, and so like it swelled up to like it was huge, and like the coach was like, you should probably go to the nurse. So I go to the nurse, and like it's all swollen, and she's like, why don't you just come back after lunch? I guess she was about to go to lunch. Right. And so she's like, why don't you just come back to after lunch, and if it's still swollen, we'll call your parents. So I was like, okay, thanks. And so like I come back after lunch and it's even bigger, and she's like, okay, we'll call your parents. So I had to get like, for breaking my thumb, I had to have one like from my like behind my fingers like all the way up to my elbow, like because it was on the back part, like almost on my wrist. And
Have you ever heard of a pump fake, motherfucker? Shit.
I think I made the shot, so he was a little late.
And one, motherfucker.
4-point play, the rare 4-point play in PE.
Oh shit.
But so like, but then like I go to get a cast, and I'm like, so picking out the color or whatever, and I decided to get glow in the dark. And
hell yeah.
The doctor's like, we've had a lot of kids having problems being able to sleep with it like glowing at night. I was like, okay. So like I just remember him saying that, and I was like, but I mean I got the glow in the dark, and it didn't bother me sleeping. But I remember the first night, I think I was like 5th or 6th grade. And like first night, like covering it with like 2 blankets, I was like, I'm gonna make sure this doesn't keep me awake. Like I didn't have a problem with it or whatever. But yeah, like I had to keep it on for like 6 weeks, and it was itching and smelly and all that shit.
Yeah.
But I did get this one chick to like do all my work for me because it was my right hand.
I thought that was going somewhere else.
Yeah. To do
So,
me.
Yeah. But other than that, just a few heartbreaks. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, man. I broke my arm in 3rd grade. And,
I don't believe it.
On the monkey bars.
Monkey bars?
Monkey bars. To break
Straight
my
bars.
fall, I stuck my arm out, and and I was crying like a bitch. Like whenever I got up,
You know what? I take it back. I totally believe you were not able to do the monkey part.
He's like, I broke my arm in monkey bars. The kids told me to get on the monkey bars. I said no, so they broke my arm.
Not quite.
Oh,
But
shit.
like whenever I got up, it was like twisted and weird or whatever. Like not anything crazy, Shadow, where you would get sick. It just I knew it was broken.
Sounds badass.
I don't get sick with it. Joel's the one that gets sick with it.
Oh.
I don't have a problem with contorted
Which I always
bones.
forget.
It's funny.
But
I broke my finger in football, and it sucked. But I remember I went home that night and showed my mom, and like, well, we can either go to the doctor now, or the ER, because it was after football practice. Like, we can go to the ER now, or you can sleep on it. And I remember high school football was intense. That shit just wore you out. By the time you get home after school,
It was always nap time.
yeah, it's time to fucking chill. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go to sleep. And I woke up and went in, and they told me it was a spiral fracture because it was the bone. It was
Twisted.
the bottom knuckle. I don't know. Does that a finger is 3 bones, right? It was the bottom one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was that one. It was broke from knuckle to knuckle, but into 3 different pieces. It was all sorts of fucked up. I had to have pins put in and shit.
God damn.
But coach, fucked up thing is the coach made me practice the rest of the practice. I don't know if I don't even know what happened. I was just blocking a dude. It was twice as big as me, and I got it caught in his jersey or something. I don't know. But all I know is that it was more like a discomfort, and I looked at my hand, and it was hold your hand in front of you and imagine your pinky pointing out like your thumb does. That's what it was doing. And so I was like, well, that ain't right. And I showed coach, and he's like, put some dirt on it. And he literally grabbed my hand.
He spit you in the back up.
He took you in the showers.
Fucked me until
That's the
I
worst.
bled. No, but so I finished.
You went to
practice,
Sandusky
put my hand
camp, too?
behind my back. And yeah, that was mine. I broke my wrist too, but that story's not as cool.
have we all broken stuff?
I've never broken anything.
Okay.
You break
I
hearts every
broken
day,
my
Speed.
pinky finger.
Breaking
but
hearts.
That's really boring.
No keys. Push the star.
All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of the podcast. This is episode 7. If you've missed all the other ones, definitely check those out. This one is probably one of the best ones. I'm going to say it now. This is probably one of the better ones that we've had. I enjoyed it. It was really fun. Thank you for everybody for showing up and giving your stories and all that stuff because it's really cool. And I know a lot of people wanted to hear a lot of the crew members kind of talk about a lot of different stories because that's kind of like the most requested thing. But remember, this will be on SoundCloud if you want to check that out. SoundCloud.com. And if you want to check that out, links will be in the description. Everybody else's YouTube and Twitter will be down in the descriptions. If you want to check them out, just click those links as well. If you aren't following somebody by now, I don't know really what's going on in your world. But for the most part, we'll see you guys next week. And if you have any suggestions what we should talk about next week, leave those down in the comments. We'll see you guys later. Peace.